Recording. Okay, it's the 19th of July, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay. Thank you, Lou. Right as Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Stone first here at Yeshiva Samanavshi, in Yeshiva in Yerushalayim, care of Zoom. Learning the fifth Pierke in Avos, the 19th Mishnah. We're about to finish our document in paragraph 27. Okay, yes, who would like to do a little reading for us this Rosh Chodesh day?
I would.
Okay, go ahead, Lou.
Okay, so I don't know what Gimel Kaf is.
Vigam Kane, and also,
lo yis val she kulo the ene ne'lim the chom ra'im usa nogim hagofayim v'devarim ha'me'onayim.
Okay. So let me give a preface to what this sentence is referring to. We're referring to the midas, the personality traits of Avraham Avinu, that those were the things that brought him to his success, whether it was going to be through miracles that Shem did for him directly, through a divine intervention, hashgacha pratis, or through natural means, through simply the ways of the working of the world, without the necessity for miracles. And the success of Avinu was, as this is being taught, was because of his personality, right? So he's explaining here how the type of personality that Avinu developed was instrumental in his intellect, in his way of understanding things as well. So the Gamke, no, he is Babel Sichlo. Sichlo is his intelligence, right? His Babel, that's a word that comes from, we know, we've heard of the marble before, right? The marble, the Dora marble, and the marble, when Kadosh Baruch had to destroy humanity, right? And so it's called the marble. If I'm not mistaken, look at Rashi. Rashi explains that that word marble, and also why is bubble called bubble? Also it's the same shorish. So it's a confusion. It's Balbel Sichlo. The Gamkein lo is Balbel Sichlo. Also his intellect was not confused. The inyanim hachamorim v'tanugim hagufonim v'devarim hamenuim, and likewise the intellect of Avraham Avinu was not confused by inyanim chamorim, things which are physically based, nor tanugim gufanim, the pleasures of the body, with divine hamonim, and from things which are interfering, and things which are disruptive. The cycle of Avamina was clear, was absolute, was understood. As Avamina understood the world he lived in clearly, without the distortions and the interference of the physical desires and interests, which cause a person to see this world in a different light than it should be seen in.
What is the last word? Hamonayim?
Hamonayim. I believe that things which are disruptive. Monea.
Okay, so in other words, he was not confused or led astray
Right, because of
by these things.
right, because of his personality, meaning as we learned, he was humble, he was not interested in lusts. He was not interested in acquiring physical possessions. He was samech bechelko. He was satisfied. He was satiated. So therefore, these traits allowed him to see and understand and use intelligence clearly without the bilbul, without confusion of the interference of all these other things which turn a person's eyes and his heart and his mind away from seeing the world the way it really should be seen.
לזה היה מיושב באיבנו וישיג האמס.
Right, but Zahayim it was settled or stable in his outlook. And he achieved the truth.
He ein lo mayik umatrich b'shum tzad. Because there was not for him, I don't know what mayik is.
Right, that's a good word. Man, I think we have to look up that word ma'ik. I'm not familiar with that word either.
Mayek? Okay, let's see if I have it in here. We'll see. Mem Ayin. Okay, Mem Ayin. Yud Kuf. Mem Ayin. Mem Ayin. One second. According to this dictionary, it's burdensome or oppressive.
Huh. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes, same here.
Okay.
Oppressive.
Oppressive.
That's on the that's on here.
Yeah, burdensome, irritating, troublesome. Okay. Okay, I've never seen that word. I don't think I've seen that word before.
And what's the next word? Umatrik? Umatrid.
Matrid is to be distracted. Matrid is to be distracted, the shum side from any aspect. It was not troubled or distracted from in any way, the shum side in any way.
Uvazeh yasig hatzlacha emtais. And in this, he achieved true success.
Right. Right. And with this, Yasik he achieved hatzlacha amiti, he achieved true success.
Memdos Bilam B'hafech. What is this word memdos?
Umidos bilam behefech.
Midot.
Right, the midos, the characteristics, the personality traits of bilam were the opposite. Right,
With the opposite.
right. Bilam, right, even and he's now we have to understand that Bilam was a prophet, right? He had prophecy, right? But and now we're saying that the character, the personality of Bilam was the opposite to Avram Avinu. So now Avram Avinu, through his personality, achieved Hatzlacha Amitis, right? And he was able to Hasig Emes, he was able to achieve a truth understanding of his place in the world and what the world was supposed to be used for, right? And now Bilam, because his personality traits were the opposite to that, we're gonna have to say this the opposite to Bilam. He did not achieve the truth, right? If Avram Avinu, because of his personality, achieved the truth, right? So Bilam, because of his opposite personality, we're gonna have to say the opposite also in terms he achieved the opposite as well. And that's in spite of the fact that he was a Navi. He was still a Navi.
I don't know if I'm in place here or not, but personality and character. Character is something that you can work on yourself. Personality is inbuilt. It's Hashem more than yourself. So Abraham Avinu's success is really attributable to Hashem working with him, or exclusively. If we're talking about personality,
the person has to change himself. If a person is given the raw materials, and a person's job in this life is to change himself.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that's character. That's the job of character. Personality is more of a fixed thing, I think.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't. This is. I'm not without. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, could be. I mean, I don't know the technical usages of these terms exactly. So, but a person's supposed to change himself. There's nothing that a person can't do to change himself if he works on himself well enough, and he's not his character is not fixed. He's given a certain character and certain character traits, but he comes to this world to learn how to change himself, and not only that, to change himself and also to channel those things. Sometimes it may be it's not easy. I don't think it's in any way easy to change any type of a trait or a characteristic that a person's been given. Min Shemaim, he's given these, but it's certainly not easy to change these things.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Chazal, well, not Chazal. The Bali, let's put it this way: the Bali Musa use a phrase called shviras hamidus. Shviras hamidus. Shviras is to breaking one's midos. Right? The Vilna Gaon says if a person's not going to be working on shviras midos or lamali chaim, what's a person alive for if it's not to change his midas, his traits, his personality? That's where a person's whole purpose of being alive is to change his personality. Person's given, as we say, the raw materials, and then he's supposed to learn and realize what he has to change for the better.
Okay.
Okay.
Kavar Kasav Haran Zal Sheha Shagas Bilam. I saw Lisha. I don't know what Ayin Yud is.
Sha'al Yidei Nes.
Okay, Sha'al Yidei Nes Ule Kavod Yisrael Le Hafil a Masan Al Ha'omos. So already it is written by the Ron of blessed memory. What is Shehashagas?
Hasagas. The Hasagas are the um, Hasagas are the one second. That first Hasagas are his uh, um, his what a person achieves in terms of his I guess his maybe like his not so much his vision. It's not really his vision, but
According to this, it's attainment or reach or grasp.
yeah, that's it's more grasp, but it's not it's not a physical grasp. It's like an intellectual, imaginative grasp. But
Ah,
it's hasagas, meaning his what a person the person has people are you use the expression people are small-minded, they're broad-minded, they're visionary, right?
right.
Right. So when you refer to a person, he's a visionary type of a person. So what does that mean? He's a visionary type of a person. Like his hasag is meaning. So that's I'm searching for a word to try and uh, express that in English. His hasag is yeah, that right. Yeah, you're right. But this hasagas are this is a noun. This is a noun here. We're dealing with a noun over here, right?
Mhm.
That it's a
Oh,
hasagas here are a person's hasagas is you deal with a person who's a visionary, so his outlook maybe his outlook, his worldview outlook.
his aims,
Excuse me.
aim, his aims.
Uh,
No, AIMS.
uh,
His
uh,
goals.
Well, it's absolute goals. It's a little bit.
His hopes.
It could be. Maybe it's his. It's not simply. It's not attitudes exactly. It's not his
Mhm.
attitudes. It's sort of in a certain way is his attitudes, perhaps. Um, uh,
Aspirations.
not exactly. Let's put it this way. Kavar Kosev Aran Shehasagas Bilim Haisa Lishor. Um, it's I guess I would even maybe go and say it's perhaps even maybe his the vision his um, predictions. He's referring to like the prophecies that Bilam were given, like his so those visions that Bilam were given, right?
Mm,
Those visions that Bilam were given, the Ron writes again. We're dealing with a question. He's not didn't pose it as a direct question, but the question is if the success that Avram Avinu had and the ability for him to arrive at the truth were because of his personality, right? Traits that we've been discussing, and Bilam's personality was the opposite. So that would leave us to just as Avram Avinu, as we said previously just now, that just as Avram Avinu had success and he achieved the truth, right, because of his personality. So Bilam, who was the opposite in his personality, should not achieve the truth. He should arrive at falsehood and have failure, right? So if he's going to be not arriving at the truth and rather arriving at falsehood, but yet at the same time we see he's a prophet. We see he's a prophet, right? He's not a false prophet. We never say he's not referred to as a false prophet. He's referred to as an actual prophet and not a false prophet. But that's somewhat paradoxical because we say that the success of Avram was in his reaching the understanding and reaching the truth was because of his personality. So he had a good personality. So therefore he achieved good results and he achieved the truth. So Bilam, who had a bad personality, he should arrive at falsehood and have bad results. But yet we see he was a prophet. So that's why he's explaining that the Ran already anticipated this, right? And the Ran wrote that the Hasagas of Billion, those visionary achievements that Bilam achieved, right? Those were Haisa Lashah. Those were only Lashah, temporary. Lashah means temporary.
Temporary. Okay, so they were temporary, but they were through a miracle.
Right, that's what I said. They were temporary, and they were through a miracle.
Kavod Israel, lahapil emasan al ha-omos, and the honor of Israel. What is this? Lahapil.
Right, but it was the visionary achievements of Bilam were temporary and through miracles, and it was Vod Yisrael for the honor of Yisrael, La Pil Emoson Al Humos, and to cast the fear of the Jews upon the nations.
The achievements of Bilam were for the purpose of casting fear on the nations.
That's right.
But because he blessed us.
Well,
that casts fear.
No, if you look at the last prophecies, let's see. If you want to take you have your Chumash B'Midbar. Let's go back a few weeks ago, the Parshas Balak, right? And those prophecies, there were several different levels of prophecy that Bilam was given, right? So the one that I believe the Ran is referring to over here now is I'll direct your attention to the Parsha. 1 minute. That would be in Parshas again. Then Parshas Bala. Um, 1 second.
Well,
Yeah, if you look there in chapter Chav Dalid, 24, chapter 24, Pasuk Yud Dalid, 24:14.
And now, behold, I go to my people. Come, I shall advise you what this people will do to your people in the end of days. And he declaimed his parable and said, the words of Bilam, son of Beor, the words of the man with pierced eye, the words of one who hears the sayings of God and knows the mind of the Supreme One, who sees the vision of Shakai while fallen and with uncovered eyes. Continue, I guess. I see it, not now. I view it, but it is not near. A star shot forth from Jacob, and a rod has risen from Israel, and he shall strike down the extremities of Moab and undermine the children of Seth. Edom shall be a conquest, and Seir shall be a conquest of his enemies, and Israel will attain wealth. One from Jacob shall rule and destroy the remnant of a city. He saw Amalek and declaimed his parable and said, Amalek is the first of the nations, and its end is eternal destruction. He saw the Kenite and declaimed his parable and said, strong is your dwelling, and set in a rock is your nest. For if the Kenite should be laid waste, to where can Assyria take you captive? He declaimed his parable and said, oh, who will survive when he imposes these? Great ships from the realm of Kittim will afflict Assyria and afflict the other side, and it too will be forever destroyed. Okay, so this is the prophecy that brought fear to everybody.
It should. You know, if you're hearing these things about about what's going to happen to your people, you should take it to, if you take it to heart, you should have a little bit of a fear. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So this last prophecy, right? That wasn't in relationship to Klal Yisrael, right? All these things had to do with the nations, right? So that's what the Ron is referring to here. That it's a reference to when Bilam was using it was given the prophecy to prophesize to the rest of the nations, and they should have fear of Klal Yisrael.
Okay. Better.
Yeah.
Vayomru Zal be Amru Hineni Olech Rami. And the sages said, I will go to my nation.
Right. Well, I think that's the way. That's the way the pasuk started over there. Right. That's the way. Right. Meaning, Amru Zal, Amru Hinei Holech La'ami. The Chazal Darshan when it's said, right, that he's going to his nation. What does that mean?
Harninu Kami. I'm sorry, Harinu Kami. Klomar Shahar Gish Have a good day. Okay, let's talk to Rabba. Klamar hargish ba'atzmo shahashem sar me'alav. So let's see. What is Hanani?
That made that Hareni Ka'ami. I'm going to be like my people. Kolomesh Hargish Ba'atzmo. He Hargish Ba'atzmo. He sensed on his own. Hargish is like Hargushes, right? To be Margish, the Hargushes or the senses. So he sensed Ba'atzmo. He sensed on his own
That Hashem is the master of the world.
Well, well, here, Sar Me Alav. I believe it's referring to that Hashem was forcing him into this. Hashem was forcing him to say these things.
Ulechein Ne'amar B'Yehoshua B'Yehosha the S Bilam ben Baor ha Kosem Hargu the Harav and therefore he said, what does this word be Hosha?
Well, that's the Navi. Yoshua. It says there in Yoshua, right? So it's quoting saying a pasuk. It's quoting a pasuk now.
That Bilam, son of Beor, what is Hakosem?
The sorcerer. He was a Kosem is a sorcerer.
He was a sorcerer.
Hargu B'nai Yisrael.
And he was killed.
Yeah, the right. It was the B'nai Yisrael killed him
Because he was a sorcerer.
Well, not because it was a sorcerer. They was becher. They killed him through the sword. Meaning, they're just stating the fact that the Bilam was killed by the Jews. Okay? The Bilam the sorcerer was killed by the Jews.
Okay. V'amar ki gam b'chatzi Yemehem Yamoso. And he said, because also with half of his days he died.
Right. It said there because that was the pasuk, right? The pasuk speaks about this, that bechetzi yom of yamusa, in half of their days they'll die.
In other words, they died prematurely.
Right. Yeah. They won't have a long life.
Ukavar ba beherek kalak. And this already came in Perek Chalak, Sanhedrin.
Right. That's the I believe the 8th parak in the Gemara in Sanhedrin.
What is Ayin Resh?
Ayin Resh. Ayin
I'm sorry.
Resh
Where's Ayin Reish?
Olive Reish.
Aleph.
Oh,
Sha'ama Rabbi Chanina Sha'ama Rabbi Chanina ben Tlusing.
Ah. So
No, I'm sorry. No, it's Sha'ama Rabbi Chanina, right? That Rabbi Chanina said about Bilam, right? Ben Tlusing Ba'arba Nehargag. He was 34 years old when he was killed.
oh. Wow, that's pretty young.
Right.
Ulamadu zeh mafstok zeh lo yachzu de mayhem. And we learn from this that it was sufficient. This was sufficient. What is Yachzu?
Yachsu means to break in half.
It was sufficient that it was not broken in half. That is, his days were not broken in half.
Well, V'lamdu zeh mipasuk zeh. We learn this not much. We learned this from this pasuk. Pasuk zeh. We learned this. We learned this from this pasuk, which is the anshe dami mumirma lo yachasu demehem. That anshe dami, meaning murderers, umirma, deceitful people, lo yachatsu demehem. They will not split their spoils. Like from demehem means their literally like their possessions or their money. They're not going to divide. They will not live. In other words, long enough to divide the spoils.
Anshe damim she natan atza etza sheyi moso Yisrael im rav, murderers that give advice to kill the Jews with
Not to kill the Jews. No, that Shanasan that Anshe Dami, Anshe, who are these murderers? That's a reference to Bilam, right? Anshe Dami, that's a reference to Bilam. Why? Shanasan Eitza Shimusum Yisrael Amrav, that he gave the advice to Balak how to kill many Jews.
okay. So that's why he's called a murderer.
Right, exactly.
Umirma.
And why is he called deceitful? Why is he called deceitful?
Oh, deceitful and deceitful. She Biramos Gadol Asay Chain. What is She Biramos?
With great deceit, from the same word mirma and miros, Gadol also came with great deceit. They did this.
This is what the advice that he gave.
Yes.
So he was saying, be deceitful and trick the Jewish people into snus.
That's, yeah, that's the way they planned it out was a very deceitful way, right?
Amar lo min echad שנמצא כבוד, כסוב, חן, בפניקסי, דבילם, Sanhedrin. So, and it says, to him, from,
This is
go ahead.
right. I think this is a min echad. This is like, this is one. There was a min is a certain type of a heretic. There was a certain type of a heretic that found this written. Meaning, I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's referring to that they found the advice that Bilam that Bilam gave to Bullock written in Pinchas, like a notebook or a ledger of Bilam, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the Gemara and see what that actually means. And that's where in the center of Kuv Vav Amid Beis, Kuv Vav Amid Beis, Sanhedrin, Sanhedrin.
So one kind of a heretic, Shenimtza Katsu, that we found written, came there, Bifanikse, Bilam. What does this word Bifanikse?
Pinchas, that's Pinchas is like the ledger or the notebook of Bilam.
So they found Bilam's notebook, and that's what told them that he was giving deceitful advice.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look up the Gemara and see exactly what it says there.
Sanhedrin.
Yeah, Kuv Vav Amid Beis, Aisha, Kuv Vav Amid Beis, Kuv Vav Amid Beis. And that's again, that was Rabbi Chanina. Yeah, Ben. Okay, 1 second. Let me see if I can find it quickly enough. 1 second. 'Cause I don't see it straight off. Let's see here. Uh, 1 second. I'll try and get it. One second. Ah, problem is it's spelled a little bit differently. Um, okay, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm a little min echad nimsa. I'm not. It's not an exact quote, so I'm not sure. 1 second, the bill. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna give it one more try. And then if not, we'll just have to leave it. Okay. Sanhedrin. Okay. Okay, we got something here. Lidi Chazeli Shapakamot. The Lidi Chazeli Pinkasa says here, Anshidim Emira, Ben Flosser Nazar, Amarle Shapakamali, Lidi Chazeli Pinkasa, the Bilim Bahabikasa Bay, Ben Flosser with Flos Shanim Babilin Hagira Bar Kutla, etc. Okay, I think it's just bringing a proof that he died. The Gemara is just bringing a proof. The Gemara makes a statement that he died, right, when he was 33 years old. Okay, 33 years old. One second, that's very difficult. And so he says he saw such a thing there written, and I think that maybe the Pinkasa, it could be the Pinkasa is like the might even be the tombstone. That could be like that's the tombstone of Bilam. One second, which is Medrash that says that Paro when he had a decision to do with what to do with the Jews. So he called three advisors into him. I've mentioned this once or twice before. He called in Yisro, he called in Eov, and he called in Bilam. And he asked them, these were the three very good advisors to Paro. Paro, as you know, was the most powerful king in the world at the time, the most powerful Medina. And obviously he's on top of the world. He wants to have good advisors to help him run his world, right? So he called Bilam, Yisro, and Eov to give him advice what to do with the Jewish problem. So Yisro, he ran away. Because he didn't want to say anything against the Jews. Eov was silent, and Bilam told Paro to enslave them. All right, so that means that Bilam was quite old at the time, because we're talking about when he was killed. Bilam was killed. This was in the 40th year after we came out of Mitzrayim, right? And we're talking about Paro making a shibud on the Jews, which would be at least 70 years, right? Because Moshe Rabbeinu, how old was Moshe Rabbeinu when he took us out of Mitzrayim? Anybody know?
80.
80?
Right,
No.
exactly. 80. He was 80 because Moshe Rabbeinu was nifter when he was 120, right? And he was with Klal Yisrael for 40 years in the Midbar. So you go back 40 years from 120, you reach 80. So he was 80 years old when he took us out of Mitzrayim, right? And don't forget, Moshe Rabbeinu was 80 years beforehand, right? In the midst of the subjugation and the slavery and the oppression and the afflictions of Mitzrayim, right? So this is all obviously Bilam, according to that medrash, must have been at least could be maybe more than 230, maybe 250, 60, 80, 280 years old, perhaps. Yeah. And here, so he's saying he died when he was 33.
Alexander the Great was 33 when he died.
Yeah, that's right. Shows what you can do with a little bit of time in this world, no?
Right.
Sure that they may ask questions about this, but in any event, so that's what the Gemara is coming to prove. Pinkase, I'm not sure. I think Pinkase might be like his tombstone. I'm not sure. I'm going to try and look it up. One more minute. Give me one more minute, then we'll have to probably take a break. Shopper Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't go into to detail out exactly what the pinkasa is. What the pinkasa is.
And that's with some of it's and plus pinkasi yud aleph.
Usually a pinkasa is like a notebook or a ledger of some sorts.
Pin oh I got fuchsia because I did the wrong. That's not known. And look, I haven't got that. Pen Panxia. I got Panxia. Nothing like it. Panxia. Did you? Panexia. Panexia. All right, I'll put in tombstone and see what happens. Tombstone. Oh, no. Tombstone is Matzabea. 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 Matzabea.
Right? It's
Matzabea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, even. Okay. All right, very good. I think probably let's take a break here.
Mm-hmm. All right.